have some fun.
Perfect. Okay. So my name is Liz. I work for Lush Life and Portland Cocktail Week specifically, which is what you're here to view. I am joined by Josh Davis. Josh, do you want to introduce yourself as if people don't already know you?
I know for the millions and millions, like The Rock said, of people that don't know who I am, I'm Josh Davis. I work for Lush Life as well, man, since 2017. I'm a long tenured bartender, and I'm the founder of what we're here for today, Brown and Balanced.
That's it. And thank God for Brown and Balanced.
Hey, no, thank God for Lush Life believing in me for me to be able to do Brown and Balanced. So appreciate you and Leo and Lindsay and Brittany and Quan and Sheer, everybody who worked on this, Blake, everybody who worked on this idea that I had all through the years, man. I appreciate all y'all for real.
We appreciate you. And let's talk about this idea that you had, that cool shirt that you've got, how we got from there to here. Tell me about like when, how did Brown and Balance get started?
We were on the Econo tour in 2017, right? That was my first major gig when I started working with Lush Life. So we were on the Econo tour, and I was teaching in different cities. I was traveling, like I was living like a rapper. Like I was living out of hotels, out the van, switching my bags every few days. Like it was nuts. It was probably the most fun experience I've ever had, career-wise. And I don't know where we were, but it was probably like 4 a.m. You were driving, so if anybody ever in the car with Liz gets it in when she drives. And like Liz is popping when she drives. Like I tried to drive safe because I wasn't in my own car. Liz get it in. So I will ride. If I ever do something wrong, I want Liz to be the getaway driver for real. It was probably like 3, 4 in the morning. I woke up and I just had this crazy idea, like I want to do something different. I don't want to just teach. While I appreciate the opportunity, I was like, man, I want to do more. Like, what can I do more to be, one, a bigger part of the team, and then two, put some exposure on some other people that I know out here that are really, really dope. So me and Brittany were talking, and I came up with the idea of doing a bar takeover. And but it wasn't gonna be a normal. I see all these pop-ups everywhere, right? It wasn't gonna be like the normal pop-up. Let's do black bartenders, black chef, black DJs, like just everything, just black out a place that maybe some of us wouldn't get the opportunity to work. For whatever reason, we might not work there. Let's do that. And it came into fruition August 31st, 2017 was the very first one. We did a show in Dallas, in Deep Ellum on the varsity leg of Dallas. And shout out to Micah Anderson. He was the first ever Brown and Balanced bartender, man. So it's been a wild ride to get there. And then from there to now to see where it's growing to, it's mind-blowing.
Yeah, that Econo tour, I tell you what, the crazy, I'm not shocked that the crazy idea came from that because we were.
Hey, that was like the greatest 3 months ever. Like that was like I've never had that much fun.
No, we were out of our minds, so.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was in 2017. So tell me about what I know, but I want you to share with the people. What has Brown and Balanced done over the years? You said that you started with Micah in Dallas. Talk to us about more of what events have been hosted over the years, what opportunities have been given to people. Talk to us about that.
The best part about it over the years, so we started the first year, we did 3 events. We did Dallas and we did New York, which was super dope. One, to do it at Holiday, because since Holiday is in its inception way back, we started researching Holiday, and there had never really been Black people working the bar at Holiday before. So that was me, one of the more special Brown and Balances, because I was able to not put one, but it was 3 of us behind the bar all at the same time, and a Black woman, shout out to Lisa Brown, to be not only the first, woman, but Black woman to really be behind the bar there. And that was an amazing feat. And then we did Portland. And then the second year, we did the infamous one in Oakland, which is to me still the greatest one. I wish you could have been there. But
I was there.
Yeah, that shows you how great it was. I don't even remember you was there.
You're talking about the first one in Oakland?
First one in Oakland.
I was there. That was on Econo.
Oh, you were? Wow. I'm sorry.
Hey,
first of all, that shows you how great Oakland was.
Good night.
Yeah, all I remember Brittany yelling at me, and then everything else is like a haze. You know what I'm saying?
Every day, though. So
Right.
I'm not surprised that you.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was dope. We did Oakland. After Oakland, what else did we do? We did Portland again. Then we started bringing it to camp. And it's just over the years, like it's grown, and I've been able to put a lot of bartenders that I always felt like everybody's dope in their own city, right? So like everybody knew all the bartenders in the cities we did in, but doing Brown and Bounce was able to put everybody on a much larger scale. And also give them FaceTime with brands that they might not have never had that one-on-one FaceTime with and work with. And that's the most important thing. I've seen a lot more brown and people of color brand ambassadors and consultants and different things since Brown and Bounce started. You know what I mean? So that's a testament to the event and a testament to just saying that, hey, it's not always that the brands don't want you. The brands didn't have an opportunity to see you for whatever reason. So let's figure out a way to merge that together, you know? And also it's another way to put more people in the limelight. Like I always call, it's kind of like comedy, right? Like Cat Williams was really, really hot. You know, he was like no one comic in the world. And then Kevin Hart came. And so now everybody pushed Cat Williams to the side because now Kevin Hart is the hottest comic in the world. And it's like, well, there's room for both of them.
Right.
So while there's a lot of dope, brown, black, you know, all different shades of bartenders, it felt like you knew me, you knew Aaron Joseph, you knew Tiffany Barriere, you knew Vance, you knew Tracy, you just knew pockets of us, but there was never an event where we all could shine at the same time. And that's kind of how Brown and Balance really started to take off. And it was like, let's find those hidden gems. Let's find those people that are really, really dope. That just all they need is that one little here. And the sky's the limit for them after that point.
Yeah. Did you mention DC?
I did not mention DC yet.
That was a good one.
He was important. DC was very important because DC was the first all-women version of Brown and Balance. They killed it.
Absolutely.
They killed it. Like that one. It was a bad day because it rained all day, which I hated. But everybody still came out support the event, and those women put on the show. Capri, Lauren, you know what I mean, Ari, like Roby, like they just, you know, hey, I got the grill all day long, so that was a fun time.
You did. You sure did. That was one. I think that's one that stands out to me as like a really, like you said, a really important one since it was all women and in such like, I mean, the East Coast specifically seems to be like so male dominated that to see like DC show up with all women bartenders was just like really powerful and really cool and a great idea on your behalf. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you.
One Cat Williams little anecdote. Do you remember in Portland in 2018 after the Hennessy party when Cat Williams was checking into the hotel?
I do. Yeah, I do remember that. And it's funny, I remember it happening. I was trying to get there, and he was already gone by the time I got down. Because I think you texted me. Either you or Brittany, one of y'all texted me, and I was trying to get over there, and
that is sweet. Yeah, no, Brittany did not. Yeah, that was a big moment too. So you talked to me about this a little bit already, but like, let's really highlight it because the most important part, like what was the initial goal of Brown and Balance 3 years ago when you were in that van in Econo? Like what did you think, what did you see that needed to change and why did Brown and Balance start?
It really started, I just wanted more representation. You know, growing up, I'm saying everybody knows me, man, I'm a South Side Chicagoan, I got the flag on my arm. Mm-hmm. Where I come from, unfortunately, my city is super segregated, right? So when you go to quote unquote general market, downtown, north side, someplace on northwest side, bartenders look one way. And then when you come on my side of town, bartenders look a little different. And you go out west and suburbs, yada, 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 and so forth. So there's a multitude of talent that I felt like didn't get seen because they might not have fit, quote unquote, what everybody wanted to see, right? Like, you know, I'm not gonna dog any list, I'm not gonna dog anybody, everything has its role, but when I started looking at like all these top 50 lists and all these awards and all this stuff going on, everybody looked exactly the same. Right. You know what I mean? It was like, what if you weren't in the industry and you just happen to pick up a magazine and you see the cover of the magazine, you would think a bartender looks like a young white male in his 20s with a bunch of tattoos, a handlebar mustache,
Yep.
some tight-ass jeans, and some suspenders on.
Yeah.
I don't look nothing like that. Like I am the complete opposite of that, right? And I'm like, but I'm a pretty good bartender in my own right, and I know a lot of other really, really good bartenders. So it really started with just, I wanted to do something to put some representation and just show everybody that, hey, there's a whole nother side of this game that you might not know of because of, unfortunately, geographic things and the way cities are set up and the way the quote unquote hot bars and all that set up. But it's a lot of talent that you really need to check out and see. So it's really a little bit, just even the playing field a little bit.
Yeah. So where, doorbell,
Right.
that was the initial goal, of course, but like what has changed over the years? I mean, like now we're in, you know, crazy times. Oh,
Enjoying. We've been enjoying. Say hi,
amazing.
man.
Hi.
Also, man, you live, so my phone's playing Facebook. You live there too, so everybody sees you, man. You want to tell everybody what your name is?
Jared Kwan.
You gotta tell them on the camera.
Oh, my name is Jared Kwan.
All right, bye bye. Go on, yeah, because now you're about to start asking questions. Bye bye.
Right.
Right now.
So what, like, how has that changed, like, over time? What, I mean, I know you mentioned DC specifically, you wanted to highlight not only Black bartenders, but female bartenders, you know? So, like, how have those initial goals changed and evolved over time?
As things grow, right, they gotta adapt, right? You know, they have to adapt and they have to also, you know, mutate. I'm a big comic book fan, so when you see things mutate and get stronger and get bigger, you have to adjust to the times you're in now. So it started off with just representation, but then now it's like, uh-oh, yo, this works. People notice it. People are seeing it. Now let's start moving into now, especially being under quarantine, we've had a lot of time to think. It's like, let's move into like mentorship. Let's move into, you know, taking Brown and Balance and doing something, you know, I had the idea like doing something similar to a Camp Running, or doing something to a Portland Cocktail Week, and have like a Brown and Balance weekend in another city, and where we all kind of come together with some of the OGs, like, you know, like the Tiffany's and myself and the Mike Jones and the Tokies and all them people, and then get some of these younger bartenders and pull them up and have them come and learn some of the things we've done, and then we can learn from the people who came before us, because that's what's important, right? Passing that next crop, because I mean, I'll be 41 in a week and a half. You know, I don't see myself, might not be behind the bar in another 10 years, but I want to leave the bar in good hands. So now it's going from just representation to let's find those next people who can keep Brown and Balance and carry it into the future. Let me find the next Micah, or the next Lisa, or the next Sam Jimenez, or the next Mister, or the next Jordy. You know what I mean? Like, let's find the next people like that that can keep what we're starting moving. You know, it's just like civil rights movement started in the 60s, right? Yeah. And it was dope and it was great. But then from that, it birthed people in the 70s, and then they carried on to people in the 80s, 90s, and so forth, to where now we were able to have a Black president. And now we never know what's going to happen next after that. But as long as we keep reaching back and then keep pushing forward,
right,
that's the goal now for Brown and Balance.
Yeah. See, this is why I was so excited to be on this video, because number one, I love talking to you, and number two, I love finding things out about you. And I don't think I've ever asked you, I'm going off script, I don't think I've ever asked you, like, how did you get started bartending?
Oh yeah, it's a funny story. I told it on the Brown and Balance channel a couple of times. So I was a bouncer. I actually started off as a door guy. Real good friend of mine, he was a sheriff, and he used to get contracts for different clubs, you know, to do it. He called me up. I was just leaving. I was still working at Foot Locker. I was a store manager at Foot Locker at the time, but I needed to make a little extra money. Had my son, you know, it was just like, let me $7,500 on a Saturday night. All right, fine, we'll do it. One night, the owner of the spot we was at, he needed a bartender. One of the bartenders called off. He was like, hey man, you know, you pretty personable. You know how to talk to people. Hey, just jump behind the bar. You know how to make drinks? I was like, no, but I was like, I could make, like, you know, like somebody want a Henny Coke or something, you know, I could do that. So funny part about that night is, I don't know if people remember, but back in the day, I don't know if they still do it now, Long Island iced teas used to come in 750s, right? It would be pre-batch, full Long Island iced tea. So, you know, working at the nightclub, it's all about volumes. You try to bang those out as fast as possible.
Right.
Got behind the bar. It was probably 15, 20 people deep. It's a nightclub. A couple people recognized me, and that's all it took. My bar is humping. I don't know how to make nothing. Like, they asked me, Cosmos, Lemon Drop, Long Island. I'm like, shit, man, I gotta get these drinks out.
Yeah.
All right. So what I did was I took the Long Island bottle, and no matter what people asked for, I poured the Long Island bottle. So if you want a vodka cranberry, cool. I know vodka's clear. Long Island cranberry. Want vodka tonic? Cool. Long Island.
Oh my God.
So they had the greatest night in a nightclub you could ever have.
Absolutely.
Because I was literally pouring like triple shots of Long Island and topping it with juice all night. And I made the most money I think I've ever made at that time working in that nightclub, not knowing what I was doing. And you know me, I was like, well, if I don't know what I'm doing, I made this much. Let me figure this stuff out. And once I figure it out, I know I can kill it. I can make it a career. I can keep it a hustle, whatever I want to do with it. And I went to bartending school. I actually quit Foot Locker that week. This is how I bet on myself. I quit Foot Locker that week. I literally walked out the store and said, I don't want to do this anymore. Enrolled in bartending school, took the bartending class in 3 weeks, and then I had another job a month after that. And I've been doing this ever since. Uh-oh, did we freeze? Uh-oh, did we freeze?
We're short of Liz, but you're good.
I'm good? Uh-oh.
Yeah. Tell us,
Uh-oh, right.
do you want to elaborate on that further?
Huh?
Maybe like some big points in like the experience from going from that nightclub to like having learned all the things that you know now.
Yeah, it was different, man. I mean, going from nightclub scene, man, it was all about volume. It was all about just getting stuff out there and just pouring drinks and people having a good time, right? Like you learn that aspect of the game, and then from that moving forward into I met Charles Jolie, I met Danny De Oliveira, I met some guys who were really doing some different things in the industry that I had never saw. I never forget, I was on a date at a place in Chicago called Mercadito that DDO worked at. And when I was at the date on that place, the girl I was on the date with, she was actually like, because Danny was doing fresh juices and setting stuff on fire and doing all that crazy stuff. And I had never seen that before. I was, again, just a nightclub bartender. I was just slinging drinks. And I saw the face she made when she saw Danny make those drinks. I said, uh-oh, I need to learn how to do this too. So from that, man, it just made me really want to learn the whole craft aspect of bartending. And from that, we're here now.
Mm-hmm.
Liz, you back?
I'm back. I don't know what that was. Someone knew I was having too much fun.
That's all it was.
No,
Somebody...
stop it. Yep, stop it right now. Well, I didn't get to hear the ending of that fabulous story, but you're going to tell me again later.
Oh, that's fine. So, you want me to tell you now? We can recap it. I can make it quick.
Recap it for me.
It basically was just after the night of me pouring everyone an insane amount of Long Island with whatever they asked for. I made so much money doing that I was just like, yo, if I took this serious, I actually learned, I think I can get out of this. So I literally went to Foot Locker the next day and I quit. This I bet on myself all the time. I literally walked out the store and said, I'm not coming back. I'm going to take this as a career. And enrolled in bartending school, did that for 3 weeks. A month later, I had a job. And over the years, we got from there to where we all are now. You know what I mean? Humble, very humble beginning. You know what I mean?
That's amazing. How long ago was that?
15 years. Yeah, 2020 years. Yep.
You're amazing. So, okay, back to Brown and Balanced. So you're here now in 2017. You're in that Econo van, and this beautiful idea comes to you. So when you first imagined Brown and Balanced, did you imagine it being like a multi-city thing? Like, no. What was your initial plan?
The plan was just, let's do one and see what happens. I really didn't think past the first one we did on Bar Institute. I mean, remember that I had a lot. That month was crazy. Like, my best friend had passed that month. My dad was really, really sick that month. And like, my mind was so fried at the time. I just knew I had to execute the first event. And that was it. Let me just see how this is gonna work. Let's see how it receives, right? Because I have that idea. Everybody might not be as comfortable with it as I am and as you guys were. So it was like, let's let's just see what happens. And like that first event was nuts. Like
Yeah.
it was like the support that day was like I couldn't believe it. You know, I thank everybody who came to that first one. And after we saw how that one worked, the numbers, the response, it was like, oh, we got to do this again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the idea for New York came. So that first year, I think it was kind of a one at a time, and let's just see what happens as we're doing, you know, Lush Like events and see if we can incorporate this. And now from that, it's birthed its own little movement. Like people are like, yo, when the next one?
Right.
Yo, when you here, when you going there? So now, where we are now, fortunately, because of, you know, COVID, we can't really move. But it's just like I got some ideas, you know, for the future that I know we'll all talk about, and we'll try to make it happen, because there's some markets that I really feel like this type of event will work really, really good in.
What's your like top 3 dream places you want to have this?
Number 1, Atlanta.
Yeah.
I just because I just know that city and the amount of talent in that city. Because for years we have to do Atlanta, Chicago, of course. I got to bring summertime Chicago to Brown Valley.
Mm-hmm.
That I need everybody to experience what we've known here all our lives. And then Miami. Miami's a fun, different type of city, and a lot of untapped talent in that city as well. So those are my 3 that we have to figure out a way to do those.
Yeah, I'm always down for all of them. So the places that you've been already, I know, of course, like camp in Portland, and then Oakland, Dallas. I mean, those places that you've been already. Why did you pick those places? And like, why Portland? Why camp? Why those cities?
Well, camp, I feel like this is something that camp needed. So I go back to my year at camp, 2015, and you know, I'm a city boy. Like I was like, I'm camping. Like I don't know. Like I don't know if I can do this. And shout out to my brother Gene Samuel. You know what I mean? He called me right before camp because I was having some. Like, okay, I got in, but I don't really know what it is. And I was researching it. And I was like, I don't know.
How did you find out about it? Was it Gene?
No, actually, I've known Lindsay like through social media.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I saw it, and I was like, well, it looks like something I might need to do. You know, let me just see. Because that was at the time, like 2013, 2014, when I just was trying to be involved with everything and really learn how this industry, you know, moves. Like, because I just, you know, I wasn't 100% sure like how everything went. Right. And first year I applied, I didn't get in, and I got in 2015. And I remember Dean called me. He was just like, "Bro, like, keep your mind open and just enjoy it for what it is." And I was like, "Man, I don't know, dog. Like, I'm in the woods, and it's not really me. Like, I like getting fresh. I wear Jordans. Like, nah, man, I ain't messing my shoes up. Like, nah." And he was like, "Dude, trust me, it's gonna change your life." Now, as a young Black man, I knew I had that feeling. And I know that since then, a lot of other young Black men and women probably have that same kind of adverse, like, I'm not sure if this is really for me. So one, me just telling you it's for you isn't enough. Let me do an event there. And gratefully, thankfully, you know, I've been allowed to be able to do that. That kind of brings a piece of that culture, so it helps mesh everyone together, right? Like, you know, honky tonk is cool, and I love it, and it's fun. It's a new experience for me. I've never experienced that. But for everybody who loves honky tonk, who might not understand what Brown and Balance is, I could bring that flavor to this, and then we can, and like now we're all just one big family, and that's what camp is at the same time. So that's why, for sure. And then the other cities we did it in just had like I said, they just had really dope talent that I've met over the years through going to Cocktail Week and Tales and different things. And I was just like, we should really do something to highlight them because they are really, really dope, and they're really, really important to the industry in their city. And, you know, their city knows them, but I want to figure out a way where everybody can know who they are. And now they live on in infamy forever because of Brown and Balance.
Yeah. Oakland is a cool city. I had never been to Oakland before Brown and Balanced. That was a perfect introduction to that city. It's a good time.
That's great.
So what have been some of your, I know that we could talk forever about this next question, but what have been some of your favorite Brown and Balanced moments?
Oh man, I gotta start in Oakland. Oakland.
It's a good one. Yeah.
I didn't remember you were there, so that's how I know Oakland.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I wasn't even there. Yeah.
Like Oakland was amazing. Like that's still to me the best one. And that's the first time we started also the charity component and giving back to a charity that affects Black and brown people in that city. So that was, shout out to Black Girls Code. That was dope that we were able to do that. But just the vibe and the love that was in that room that day, like it didn't matter what color you were. It didn't matter what stupid ass award you won. It didn't matter. None of that mattered. It was just all about Jordy, Mr. Doug, you know what I mean? Myself, like us having fun and just showing our talents to the people. So that was definitely by far my favorite one. Icing Sam at that one was great because I had to get him because he's my little brother. So I had to get him.
Yeah.
Also having people Cash App and PayPal us to ice Dan Brennan was also a highlight. That was a lot.
I think Sam's, maybe Dan, I don't know.
Yeah, he took it like a champ, man. It was a lot of fun, but it was just like the vibe and the just the moment we were in. You know, I gave the speech. Actually, Mia, shout out to Mia, just sent me the speech that I gave at the end. Well, I got a little misty eyed because it was just like I had never been to another city that showed that much love for what we were trying to do, and it really showed me like we're doing something right. That's dope. DC was great because again, being all women. The funny part about DC was I only knew personally Ari and Roby and Capri. I didn't even know Andra or Lauren at the time. I saw Andra, she put an article on Facebook about what she was doing in DC as a woman, as a Black woman bartender, and I was like, oh, she's dope. And I literally messaged her, let her know I wasn't spam. I didn't know, it wasn't. I was like, I'm doing an event in DC. I want you to be a part of it. And she jumped in, was dope. And then Capri actually said, yo, you need to meet my friend Lauren. And I said, okay, cool. Send me, Lauren's info. Send it to me on Facebook. I messaged her, same thing. I'm doing an event. You should be a part of it. And from that, I got 2 new friends for the rest of my life because of that. And that's something that was really special to me. And then, of course, the infamous Spring 18.
Sure. That DC lineup was very solid.
Yeah, the infamous Spring 18 was Sherry, Cecil, Nigel, myself, Doug. Like it was. Yeah. That was a party. That was yeah.
Has never recovered.
No one really. I don't think camp has ever been the same. I think we broke camp that year.
Yeah, but I like having it down at the pavilion now. That feels
much better.
That feels like the right place. Yeah.
Yeah, much better.
And we can have those balloons that just pop constantly. So that's always fun.
Yeah, and of course champagne. Shout out.
A safer place for champagne.
Much safer. Right.
Much safer. Yeah. Much more. If you're gonna champagne shower, do it on concrete. That's what we learned.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I've learned. So what do you feel like you've learned over the last 3 years hosting Brown and Balance? Like about yourself, about the community, about doing events, like about anything? Like what do you feel like you've learned?
Well, I've learned that attention to detail is very important. Shout out to Brittany Leach for yelling at me through email a lot. I can actually read her emails in her voice all the time.
Brittany and Jordy are not here right now, but I would love to take a second to thank both of them.
For real, because I'm. It's funny. Most people that are creative aren't that well at the execution side of it, right? Like I got all the ideas in my head and I got everything I want to do, but working and doing this event, I've learned how to actually execute all the little small things.
Yeah.
You look at to get an event off. So shout out to y'all and Lush Life and all the work that we do together. I've been going to Lush Life events since 2009, but I didn't realize until now, like what goes into it. So man,
it's just like bartending. You can't teach someone to like want to help their community and there's a void that needs to be filled and like want to spotlight people, but you can teach them how to plan an event,
Yeah. So I definitely learned that about myself. I'm a work in progress every day. About emails, following up, and doing things like that. So that definitely got to me. Community, I found out I have learned and found a lot more talent than I knew was out there. I have people who I don't even know that are hitting me up saying, yo, I want to be a part of Brown and Balance. What do I need to do? When do we come to this city? And I'm like, wow, like, I thought I knew a lot of people and I thought I could see it, but it's like, well, you need to meet this person, this city, and that city. And so now we're all connecting and we're all starting to get to know each other. So that way, when we can go back outside, we can travel again. This event now can be way bigger than I think any of us ever decided. And then with people, I'm just learning that like, yo, there's some really, really cool people in the industry, man. Like, I've become friends with everybody that has done a Brown and Balance. I've become real friends, like outside of this industry. Like we hang out. I know their kids, and they know mine, and I'm making some lifelong friends with this. I'm super appreciative of everyone who's been a part of it.
Yeah, definitely. So what are you hoping, we know what you've learned, what are you hoping that people that come to Brown and Balance like take away from it, learn from it? What's the goal when people
Just the goal is to just, don't always go by what you see. It's with anything, right? Like I always use this example, I've never seen a Bentley commercial, but I know a Bentley is a great car. You feel me?
Right.
So when you come to this event, just because you might not see on some of these lists and some of these magazines, and what you see makes you want to go to, we go to certain cities, we all want to go to these certain bars in that city. Maybe let's take some time and let's explore and find out where these bartenders that work here, where they work, and let's go and support them the same way we support the more popular bars. You know what I mean? Because again, it's a super void in where we go and where we should go, if that makes sense. Right? Like, a lot of times I've been to some really, really popular places and like I didn't enjoy myself like I thought I would, but it was like I wanted to experience that place. But yet I might have walked down the street and randomly met a bartender at another place and like had the time of my life, never wanted to leave. And I think that's kind of where I want people to start seeing like, hey, don't just come to Brown and Balance, but visit these bartenders in that city after we leave.
Right.
Because, they're doing this event out of just the kindness and they're believing in what we're trying to do. And I thank all of them for it. But also, when we leave and we go to another city, they're still there. Go support those people.
Right.
Be there for them.
So you and I talked about this a little bit on Sunday when we were talking about this video, but like people need what you expect people to take away or learn from Brown and Balanced, but like this event is open to everyone in the bartending community and beyond. And that means that like white people like myself are also showing up to these events and enjoying these like wonderful drinks and this delicious food made by people of color. What do you see as like my role as a person at this event or like just generally?
I mean, totally like one, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all we want, just support, right? Like, sometimes being a real ally means you just gotta just be quiet and just understand and just be there and listen to those bartenders and just take in what they're giving you, right? That's being an ally, and that's being what I look for, people that are not of color to come and do. Like, don't come and try to, get into these deep conversations and make things about you and, and all that. Like, just enjoy it for what it is. There's a lot of people online that they claim they're allies and they're pick me. Look, I love Black people too. And okay, that's fine. But if you're supporting events like this and you're not supporting people like Chocolate City's Best with Capri and Mike, and if you're not supporting Cause and Stir with Alexis, and you're not supporting Teray with Turning Tables, and you're not really supporting Ashton with Resist and Serve, it's just all talk. So like, just come and ask one of us, what can you do to help continue to push it forward, and don't try to make it your narrative. And I think that's the most important thing overall that I feel like people who are not of color should do when you're meeting and you're coming to events like this. It's about us that day. So just enjoy it, Just enjoy it and try to figure out how you can help and ask those questions. And when you ask the question, just listen intently. That's all I have.
Yeah. I mean, this event specifically has brought like so many amazing people into my life, and I'm sure your life as well. Like, I wouldn't have met a lot of these people and gotten to know them in the way that I have if not for this event, I'm sure. You
Yeah,
know?
same. Like, it's just, you know, you look at somebody like, you know, a Sam or a Mister, you know what I mean? Like, they live in Hayward. They're not really in Oakland, but they live in Hayward. And it's
Right.
like, I know their struggle because, yeah, I live in Chicago, but I live on the South Side, which is like its own insulated neighborhoods where
Right.
I have friends that have never been downtown. We 40 years old, they've never been outside of this area we live in. It's like, well, if they're talented, but they've never had that exposure somewhere else, you don't really know how dope they really are unless you come to where they are. And so this has brought us to a place where we can bring them to that market. And then now it's up to these allies to now, okay, come out of your comfort zone, because we do all the time, unfortunately. We have to come out of our comfort zone. So now you need to come out of yours and visit us where we're from.
Right. Yep. So I'm sure many people know this, but you've been doing a lot of stuff on the Brown and Balanced Instagram lately, like Instagram Lives, talking to past or former like Brown and Balanced bartenders. What do you have planned? Well, talk to us about that first.
Sure. Yes. Every day, Monday through Saturday, 5 p.m. Central Time, we do a cocktails and conversation on the Brown and Balanced Instagram page. It's again an idea. We're in quarantine. I'm like, I don't want to just sit in the house and just keep eating and just drinking all day long and just trying to, you know, waiting this thing out. Let me do something to where, since we can't travel and do Brown and Balance, let me figure out a way to bring Brown and Balance into everybody's home, but not just the cocktail aspect of it, but the fact that like there's some dope people in our industry that really have stories that need to be heard. So I give everybody the option. You can make a cocktail or not. I only think John Neely is the only person who's actually made the cocktail on Brown and Balance. John. Everybody else has just been given their story, telling everyone how they got in the industry, things they want to see, improving industry, you know, some of their favorite moments, traveling, going to, you know, Lush Life events, going to Tales and all the other events that's going on in the country. And it's really been enlightening. Like I said it day before yesterday, like this is probably the most gratifying thing that I have done since I've been in this industry, because I have people that I consider friends that I've learned things about them that I never knew. And it's made me really that much more closer to them, one, but also want to support them that much more. You know, so soon as we can get outside again, I'm buying plane tickets to come see some of my friends and really just support them and continue to, you know, nurture and grow our friendship even more. So every day, Brown and Balance Instagram, it's real easy, Brown and Balance. Follow us. Tune in. Today we have Capri Robinson from DC, Brown and Balance alumni. She's giving her story. We also don't have just Brown and Balance alumni telling their stories, but just other Brown bartenders that just need to have their stories heard. I think, again, that's part of that reaching back and bringing it forward. You know, we've only done 13 events, so everybody hasn't had a chance to do one yet. This is a way for them to still be part of that Brown and Balance family without actually doing an event. You know what I mean, so far.
Yeah, no, it's been great. I've tuned in for a couple of them.
Thank
Mia and Sam. Who else have I seen? I feel like some others. But Mia talking, I could listen to Mia talk about finances.
It's important. It's important.
She's so smart and talented, and I love her. So you're telling us what you've been doing lately, and like, how has this, I think it's awesome that you're using this quarantine time so wisely and so productively. I think a lot of us got so like insular and like depressed during this time because we just felt, what can I be doing that's productive? And you've taken this time by stride, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
So what do you have planned for the future of Brown and Balanced, whether it's like digitally or when we can finally be in the same room with each other again? Like what do you have planned?
Well, first thing I'm working on, I need to kick myself in the ass a little bit about it. So since everyone always asks about Brown and Balanced, and since we haven't been to every city, I'm actually working on volume 1 of the Brown and Balanced cocktail book, where it'll be some of the cocktails that we've had and been able to share Brown and Balanced. It'll be available for everyone through an ebook first, and then we're going to do volume 2, volume 3 to chronicle the 3 years we've done it. So that's first and foremost on the list. Second is devising a plan for mentorship. in the industry. I feel like there's a little bit of a void of people that look like us that are mentors. Shout out to the ones that are, Jackie Summers, Vance, Tracy, Clyde Davis. You know, Jack and Clyde were two of my personal ones. So I want to figure out a plan along with a couple other Brown and Balance alumni, shout out to Lisa and Micah, where we're going to come up with some sort of a mentorship program to kind of help the young and up-and-coming bartenders. So right now, those are two things that are consuming most of my time when I'm not doing things like this or doing the happy hours. I'm really working on trying to get the book out, one, and then definitely devise a really, really good, solid plan. Because, you know, I look at people like Roby, right? I met Roby when we did that very first Black Bartender Dinner at New York's Bar Institute. And like I didn't even know, like she didn't know about what Lush Life was or anything like that. And I saw her at the event at Seamstress, and she was kind of standing outside, but I saw another Black person. I was like, hey, how you doing? I'm Josh. And she's like, hey, I'm Roby. I said, well, look, like, where you from? What you doing? We got a nice conversation. I realized she didn't really know anyone. So we took her, and I said, look, I got an extra spot open for dinner because someone couldn't make it. Why don't you come with us? And from that, now look at her, right? 4 years later, you know, she's a boss in her own right. She's killing it at all our events. She's done Brown and Bounce a couple of times. You know, she's everywhere doing everything, and one of the most sought after bartenders, you know, in that upper East Coast. And while I don't feel like I directly mentored her, just having someone like me say, hey, why don't you come try this, or why don't you come do that, I think is a really, really important thing that's not happening as much. And we got to figure out a way to reach some of these other people in other places. And so that is definitely, you know, number 2 on my list behind the cocktail book.
Yeah, that Black Bartenders dinner was pretty great.
Amazing, man. And rest in peace to Rocky for being one of the first people to believe in that. That's kind of what birthed Brown and Balance, having that dinner and having all those people in the same room together. And it kind of sparked the idea, and then the idea really came out when we were on economy.
What restaurant were we at? We had that daiquiri like speed competition, right?
Yes, that was the second one. I can't remember the name of that restaurant. The first one, ironically, which is super. I always laugh and tell people if I wasn't sure what date we started, the very first one we did was the night that Trump got elected. I said, wow, you know, we're celebrating Black people on the night Trump gets elected. But that's another story for another laugh. But then the second one, that restaurant, where were we at? I can't remember. I hate that I can't remember it. I'm gonna go search it and tell it. Yeah, the speed daiquiri competition was nuts.
Yeah, I think someone actually ended up on the board, didn't they?
Yeah, I think Lexi ended up on the board. Alexis Brown, Capri ended up on the board that night. Doing it, I was like, I'm an old crickety bartender now. I'm not. No. I haven't done speed in a long time, so no, y'all not gonna get me to make a fool out of myself tonight. That was also the night me and Sherry scored. Me, Sherry, Clyde, and Arlisha scored Janet Jackson tickets that night at the dinner. We left the dinner and went straight to the concert.
Yep, you sure did.
Remember
that. Jeez, what a life.
The time I had, you're like.
I know. God, tell me about it. So it looks like we have questions, if I can see that. Someone would like to know what bar school you went to, and what did you gain most from that time?
I went to a school in Chicago. I don't even think they're still open anymore. It was called American Professional Bartending School. It was in downtown Chicago, right across the street from Columbia College. It was on top of a liquor store. So I think the guys that own the store own the school as well. And honestly, I learned speed and I learned recipes. I learned a lot of recipes. I don't think I've ever made some of those cocktails, but you know, if for nothing else, it just taught me how to move and how to prepare myself behind the bar. And then over the years, you develop your own style, but it just gave me a blueprint to really get started. Because again, I had no idea. I knew how to drink, but I didn't know how to make them. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to be serving people Long Island iced teas and cranberries and all that all night.
I don't see why not.
You know, I was wise. You know what I mean? So it gave me a blueprint to get started, and I'm super appreciative of them. They birthed who, quote unquote, Mr. Mixologist is. I was born there.
I think that we should have a pop-up or a Brown and Balanced, just you making those recipes that you said you learned but have never actually made.
Done deal. Let's do it. I'm in. Let's do it.
But then we also do the Long Island vodka cranberry juice drink.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm with it. Let's do it. I'm in.
Yeah, perfect.
Yes, y'all let me make a fool of myself. Yes, please. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well,
Uh-oh. Did we lose Liz again?
maybe, but I can tell you what the other question was while we're
Cool.
getting her back.
Cool, man. Let's keep.
They were wondering where the book that you're talking about, the first chapter.
Yeah. The first,
when do you think that'll come out, if you have a time yet?
I've been really, really working on it. Trying to decipher what drinks are going to go in it because I want to make it chronological and I want to make it make sense. I didn't want to just slap stuff in there. So hopefully, prayerfully, in the next week. I've said that like 2 weeks in a row, but it's just, honestly, I've gotten super busy while we've been in quarantine, which has been a blessing. But every night I'm working on it to try to get out. So volume 1, y'all stay on my ass about it. It will be out, I'm praying, next Friday as an ebook. We'll do that. I'll put myself under the gun. And I'll say it live in front of everybody. I'm praying for next Friday.
And I'm sure we can get the word out, especially to the people who've been asking. That shouldn't be an issue.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that's all the questions that are out there. Is there anything else that you want to share with the community before we wrap up?
Man,
it's an amazing conversation.
Thank y'all, man. I just, all the support over the years, man. I appreciate you guys. Everybody who's out there that's being an ally, salute to you. Thank you very much. Everybody else who supports this event, thank you. A million thanks to you, Leo, to Liz, to Lindsay, to everybody who believed in it from the beginning and are helping pushing this forward, man. Thank everybody. That's all I really want to share with everybody. I'm a super appreciative of all the love. I'm humbled by all the love we've gotten. And we're just going to keep pushing this thing forward, you know what I mean, and making it bigger and bigger and bigger.
I'm back.
You're back.
Enough of me. Enough of my shit. They're like, get out. We're done. No more of you. So I guess that other question, your book question.
Yep. Yeah, I told them I'm putting myself under the gun to have it out by next Friday.
Oh, nice.
At volume 1. It'll be about maybe 12 other cocktails on there. So I'm putting myself some pressure to get it done and have it out, as an ebook next week for everyone. And then eventually when we go outside, we'll have them in print. And maybe that'll be part of the Brown and Balance tour. You know what I mean? When we go to these different things, we can have volumes of the book out where people can enjoy and they can also know some of the bartenders that provide the cocktail, where they work, where they're from, little small blurbs about them from me. It's going to be interesting how I'm doing it, which is why it's taking it a little longer than I expected. But I'm going to get it out. Writing a book is hard. Shout out to everybody who's done it. It's tough.
I was not expecting you to say next Friday. That's incredible. Very impressive.
I'm shooting for it. I've been working on it for about 3 months, so I really want to get it out. Because, again, by breaking it down into volumes, it makes it a little easier to get it out and get it faster than normal.
Yeah, good for you.
Thank you.
So someone would like to know what bar skills are required to be part of the Brown and Balanced team.
It's super easy. You just got to be brown and balanced.
That's it.
That's it. Or you could be like me, be a little imbalanced, but as long as you teetering, you good. But yeah, you have to be brown, and brown does not only mean black bartenders. Like, don't get me wrong, y'all. I'm a black man. I don't like being called a person of color because I'm a black man. You know what I'm saying? But under that person of color umbrella, you have Mexican, you have Puerto Rican, you have black, Asian, like all of that. And that's the other thing I've loved since it's grown. It's moved from just African American black bartenders to now other shades of brown. And so that's really all you have to be. As long as you brown, we got you. You part of the, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah. So I think we have one more question.
Mm-hmm.
If we know of talented bartenders who are people of color that might be interested and may not know about Brown and Balance, but we know they'd be into it. What is the best resource or contact to suggest for them?
Follow me on Instagram. I Instagram way more than I Facebook. So my personal Instagram page is Mr. Mixologist, MrMixologist. I had to think about it for a second. And so that's the quickest way to DM me, to get to me. So by all means, send me DMs, connect me with people. And then everyone should follow the Brown and Balanced Instagram at Brown and Balanced. Same thing right here. Y'all see this logo will be on the avatar for us, so you know you're at the right place. And have them tap into me there and tune in, ask questions. You know, we're doing live with the interviews, but we're also doing live where it's just Q&A sessions with me, you know, conversations with some of the homies. Like, we're just having fun. So those are the two easiest ways to catch me. I will not put my phone number on the internet again. I learned my lesson the wrong way doing that a long time ago. So hit me in the DM. Once I realize you're not a bot, we can talk.
Hell yeah. And if you haven't yet, Josh has had some awesome conversations, like he mentioned, and you post them.
Yeah, they're all our, so Instagram did a really cool thing where they move all your lives over to IGTV so that you're able to post them and share them now. So the first week isn't on there. So like the conversation myself and G. Samuel had, and a couple other people, that's not on there. But then everything else is all posted on the page.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
And we have special guests.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi. Are you proud of your dad?
Speak up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too.
All right. Cool.
Oh.
They don't see. They think I don't really have a real job. They just think that I just pay the bills and do all that. They don't really know what I do. So they like, well, Dad just talking to people on his iPad. He can just come out. I can just come and talk.
Yeah. Have you explained? I know Isaiah's your oldest, right?
Josiah. Yeah, Josiah.
Oh, Josiah. Sorry. Have you explained to him like what Brown and Balanced is? Like what you do with? Yeah.
He loves it. I'm trying to figure out a way, because he's going away to school next year. So hopefully, we might not be able to travel this year, but maybe by next summer when we can travel a little more freely than now, I'm going to actually try to bring him on as a bar back so he can really see what we're doing and the culture getting pushed forward. Like, he doesn't want to be a bartender or nothing, but now he's old enough, I want to involve him so he can actually see, I'm not just talking about it, I really am about it. And, actually see what I do on the day.
Right. Well, we talked about that Puerto Rico trip.
Yeah.
When all of this is over.
Oh yeah, when it's over, that is honestly, you said top 3, it goes without saying Puerto Rico, Brown and Balanced.
Yeah. That would just be
at Factoria. So any of the homies watching, Carlos or Manolo, we need, oh God, like I think top all of them.
Yeah.
That one, that would be, oh man, we gotta make that happen some kind of way. We for that. Maybe when one day, hopefully we can go back and we can do Cane Camp again. And we can do a Brown and Balanced at Cane Camp at Factoria.
I would be stoked on that.
Oh, that would be it. Like, I'm thinking about the possibilities with that. That was
made of, yeah. That is what dreams are made of. We're gonna talk
about
that.
Lindsay, if you're listening.
Yeah. Carlos.
Yeah. Hit me.
We're gonna have a conversation. Yep.
Yeah. Brown and Balanced at Factory. That would be. Yeah, I think we would have to have the next day would have to be a day off.
Yeah, no.
That would be that's too anybody to do like.
A day of rest. Absolutely.
Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah. You just gave me a great idea, Liz.
Well, let's do it. I'm down.
I'm in. Yeah, let's make it happen. I'm all the way in. So yeah, do it. And shout out to man, my brother. He's watching. I'm looking on my Facebook. He's on, man. My good friend from Chicago, man, Law Willis. He's the one that makes all the Brown and Balanced T-shirts, tank tops, hats that we were able to get. We're gonna work out a way to get Brown and Balanced merchandise out to people soon. Right now, it's just for the bartenders who have bartender event that can have it. But eventually, we'll grow into getting some merch out. I know a few people have asked about getting one of these t-shirts. This is a one-of-one. Ain't no more of these out here. So this got made, and I think Sam, Jordy, Doug, and Mr. and all the other people with this actual shirt. So, you know, after that, I didn't make any more of these. I just wanted to have something special to commemorate, you know, that first 3 rounds of this.
Mm-hmm. Good for you.
Thank you.
Well, we are coming up on an hour. Do you have anything left to tell the people?
I'm good, man. Just again, thank y'all, man. Thank everybody for the support, man. Thank everybody for, you know, being there for us and supporting the event, man. Continue supporting, continue watching the live. Liz, you already know me and you. Thank you. You know what I mean? Yeah, this you know, it's been a hell of a ride so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing the next wave of what we're gonna do. So again, to my team, to Lush Life, thank y'all so very much for believing in the event and helping me execute this event.
Well, it obviously couldn't happen without you as the founder and host of All Brown and Balanced. We're grateful for you. Do you want to plug your IG one more time so people can catch you and Capri?
Yeah, the Brown and Balance IG is very easy. Brown and Balance. It's at Brown and Balance. My personal page is Mr. Mixologist. You know, if anybody wants to connect with me on either of those, that's where I'm at most of the time. So please, by all means, connect with me, talk to me, and let's keep pushing the culture forward.
Absolutely. I can't wait to watch you and Capri tonight.
Oh, it's gonna be dope. Capri's gonna be a lot of fun. You know what I mean? Because the funny part about me and Capri, by us being friends, I don't know her that well, so I know that I'm gonna learn something about her today. And that's and then tomorrow, Saturdays are the bonus episode. Trinette is the bonus episode tomorrow. So Trinette.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, Saturday is gonna be a hell of a show. I'll tell you that right now.
What time is that one? 6 o'clock?
5 p.m. Central. Every day, all at 5 p.m. You know what I mean? And after that, if anybody knows, we having since we've been under quarantine, it's Memorial Day weekend. Most of us would be working ourselves ragged. On my personal Mr. Mixologist Instagram tomorrow night, myself. Come back. All right, you back? Sorry, phone was ringing. On my personal page tomorrow night, myself, Daniel De Oliveira, we'll be doing the versus battle, but we're gonna do the bartender version. He's taking East Coast 90s hip hop. I'm taking West Coast 90s hip hop. We're gonna have some fun. Everybody grab themselves a cocktail, a drink, and hang out with us on IG Live tomorrow night at 8 p.m.
Amazing.
Yeah, just trying to find creative ways for us to stay connected and have fun.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Thank you. I can't wait to tune in for all of that. And for you, we have like 30 seconds left. Explain your feelings on The Last Dance in one word.
Amazing.
Amazing. I agree.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch it again. So
it's recorded. I'm ready to just gear back up from that one. Yeah. All right,
Absolutely.
Josh. Well, I appreciate it. I love you, and I will talk to you probably right after this because
more than likely. Love you too, girl. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Brown and Balanced. Follow it on IG. Bye.
Amazing. We're out. Thank you so much.